Hi, I'm Andrew Scoular from Sensitive Skin Clinic for Skincare TV. In this segment, I want to talk about safe cosmetics in terms of containers and packaging. Safe cosmetics is always important because you're putting natural ingredients that have been processed on your skin, very often to leave them on. That means if there's anything wrong with them, you're going to have skin problems. Obviously, skincare products will have preservatives in them, something that's going to try and make them a little bit more secure and a little bit safer. But we don't want to rely too much on preservatives because preservatives in higher quantities can be hazardous, can also be very, very sensitizing to the skin. So people with very sensitive skins, that's the last thing they want is products with high levels of preservatives in them. To find out more about preservatives, there is a Skincare TV video on preservatives in skincare products. In terms of containers, this is one of the ways that we can limit the amount of preservatives that we put into a formula. If it's an airless pump, which would be something like this, what happens is that once the product is in, there's no air in this. It's just the formula or the ingredients that are making up that formula. Once we pump out any of the ingredients, the base of the container rises. So as it rises, it prevents air or any kind of oxygen from getting into the product. Oxygen is a big problem because it will oxidize the natural organic ingredients that are in these products. The other thing that is important is also to have an opaque container, which means that it is solid color. No light can get through. Light can also break down natural organic ingredients. So airless and opaque are two of the most important things you should look for in your skincare product containers in order to help safeguard the ingredients. Some of the worst containers that you can buy with skincare products in them will be things like big tubs. And this isn't even the biggest one. I'm sure that people out there know that there's even bigger than this. The problem with tubs is that they have very wide openings. So when you open them, a lot of air gets in. Plus, as you use up the product, air replaces the product. Being tubs as well, people use their fingers. If your fingers are not perfectly clean, you may be transferring bacteria or some kind of microbe into your product from something else. So I'm never a fan of these kinds of containers. The other kind of containers that people use would be like a pump. Nice and convenient. However, as you pump out the product, air is replacing it. This is something that happens also in tubes. So it doesn't matter what kind of tube you have. As you remove the content, so air will replace it. And air, as we know, is going to be the biggest issue in terms of breaking down organic ingredients. A very opaque tube is better than a see-through tube, or transparent tube. So this mitigates some of those damages, but not everything. The biggest issue is going to be the air. And whether it be a pump, which is opaque, the opaqueness will help, but the pump still means that air is getting into this container after you've dispensed some of the product. Many people talk about having brown bottles, and this is kind of a marketing thing for a lot of companies where they try and make out that they're natural, wholesome, apothecary kind of approach. And yes, the brown bottle is better than a clear bottle. However, once you open it and you dispense what you're taking out, air has gotten in. So all round, the most important thing to do is to use airless pumps. And there's more and more products out there which are coming out as airless pumps. Now I know a lot of people are upset about the fact that they can't see how much is left. But generally you can feel it. When you start off, you can feel the weight of it. By the time you start getting through it, it feels lighter and lighter and lighter. Just buy a replacement. And by the time you finish it, you will have another product to replace it. There are some airless pumps which are also pretty transparent. Not a good idea. If you're going to go with airless pump, make sure that it's an opaque airless pump. Now, a lot of the ways that we can safeguard the ingredients in the product, of course, are going to be with preservatives. One of the preservatives which is classified under the California Safe Cosmetics Act is parabens, which we have to take out of our products. And yet, there's still some companies like this that have parabens in it. There are shampoos that have parabens in them. There are a lot of products out there that have parabens in them, and it's kind of a problem for the industry to take out the parabens and put in other preservatives, because parabens are very safe from a chemistry point of view, not necessarily safe from a user point of view. The other aspects that you can use are antioxidants. Large quantities of antioxidants will keep the product fresh in the container. Those antioxidants are going to be more for keeping the ingredients safe rather than being used on your skin. You can use pure alcohol, which is also antimicrobial. However, pure alcohol will also be very damaging for the skin. It'll increase sensitivity and it actually weakens the skin. And then the other thing would be a low pH, which means the product is more acidic. Your skin is already acidic, and you can learn more about that by going to the Skincare TV video on how the skin works. So if your skin is already acidic, you want to have a product which is more acidic than your skin. That will reduce the amount of microbial growth in that product. But once again, that could be very sensitizing and damaging for somebody with problem skin or sensitive skin. In terms of expiry dates, a lot of companies do not use expiration dates. And the reason being is in the US, it's not regulated to have expiration dates. The FDA only regulates that drugs have expiration dates on them. Expiration dates are arbitrary from the point of view that the time that the product is manufactured, ingredients start breaking down. It's just a natural process on this planet. Same as if you make food, it breaks down over time. It's never the same 1 week later as it is when you first make it. Likewise with ingredients in skincare products. So you cannot really determine an expiration date. In Europe, they use the number of months since opening method to let you know how long you can use that product for. Normally it's like 12 months or 24 months, and it's depicted by a little jar on the container, the jar open. That's also arbitrary because depends also on the container. If this one is 12 months and it's a jar, maybe it will be 24 months if it was an airless pump. So once again, it's very difficult to determine exactly how long a product can last on the shelf. But the most important thing is keep it in a cool, dry location. Having it in your bathroom is not a good idea. Putting it on the windowsill in the bathroom where there's lots of sun, definitely not a good idea. So the best answer for all these issues around safe cosmetics and cosmetics that you're using on your skin is to use airless, opaque pumps. Your skin stays with you for the rest of your life. You cannot change it, you cannot purchase a new one. So please treat it properly, treat it gently, and treat it sensitively. Thank you for watching Skincare TV.